howdy, howdy, hi, hi. Well, everyone is minus, you could call me multiply. Just so you know, yes, yes, I'm that guy. You could give 5 fingers and I'm not waving high. Yes, I'm never ending, you could call me pie. But really, how long till the world realize? Yes, yes, I'm the best, fuck what you heard. Anything less is
obviously absurd.
Welcome to Wigless and Crying, a gay fantasia on trashy themes, episode 2. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, I feel sorry for you. You missed out on a conversation about cock rings, effeminate Disney villains, and the sexual positions of Aaron Schock. This week, we are taking topic suggestions from our listeners who tweeted to @WiglessCry. We've written the topics onto pieces of paper that will be chosen from a wig. Then JC and Josh will have about 10 minutes to speak about them. I'm here with them right now. This is Josh Allen.
Hi.
And JC Lee.
What up?
2 horrible, self-loathing gay men who happen to be drunken screenwriters with a lot of opinions. So, guys, I took some notes from last time.
Adrian, that was hurtful.
Yeah, I took notes from last time.
Self-loathing? I've really been working on that. That was really hurtful. It's really rough.
I took notes from last time. I have to be a little more energetic and exciting for the beginning.
No, that was a comment I left on YouTube.
Yeah.
That you should be more energetic.
That was mailbag.
I'm glad you got that note.
We're changing a few things this time around.
Not that we're drunk, because we're still drunk.
Oh, you're still going to be drunk.
We're drunk now.
That's a true statement.
Yeah, I don't think there's any need to do shots after every topic because you guys are wasting.
I feel like we should cross that bridge when we come to it.
Well, the last time we did that, Josh spit his shot of whiskey into his cup of vodka and then drank it.
Anyone who heard episode 1, by the time you got to the last 5 minutes, who had it more together?
Yeah, also that's called mixology.
That's also called JC is an Asian.
He's other things besides Asian, which is where I think he gets his drinking from.
Correct. I am multiracial.
He's like all of the races.
Like Obama's America.
Literally all of them.
Like Obama's America.
Yep. Yeah. He's a mélange.
No one knows what that word means. It's a kind of cow, right?
You're a kind of cow.
Wow. It's really early in the night for that kind of
Actually,
talk.
it's midnight.
Also, I haven't eaten carbs in a week. That's not true.
That's so not true.
I ate a carb
Is grass a carb?
I ate a carb like this morning.
Mm-hmm. But guys, how awesome is it that we thought we had, what was our estimate of listeners? 3. We got
5.
5. We got almost, we got more than 100 on SoundCloud. We got about 60 on YouTube, and if Justin didn't say the F-bomb so much, it probably would have been approved for iTunes, but it was not.
F-bomb is fuck. But I was saying the other one that was a bundle of twigs that you could set on fire.
Yeah, let's never say that on Wigless.
I won't say it again.
Yeah.
But I do believe politically in reclaiming the word.
Right. There's a lot of stuff I want to reclaim, but I also want to be heard.
But Miss Cook, I hear your note. I hear your note, Miss Tim Cook. It's fine.
Goodness.
We won't say it. Clearly you have an issue with that. So, I don't want to engage in your politics. I'll buy your watch.
Actually, Adrian, I have a question.
Yeah.
Were these 100 SoundCloud people, was it confirmed that they're discreet? Individual,
Let's just assume that.
Oh, they could have just clicked on it.
Because I listened to it so many times that I'm worried that you think it's 100, but it's I listened to it 85 times.
Unique listeners.
That's what I mean. Yes.
I like to imagine that it was 100 13-year-old young gay dreamers.
It gets better.
Just in the Midwest.
Gay dreamers? So they were immigrants also?
So that when
that's not what you...
When they were thinking about coming out of the closet to their parents...
By dreamers, I meant bottoms.
Oh, okay.
When they were thinking about coming out to their parents in a lovely letter, or...
they heard this
they decided I'm
not
running
to.
back into the closet!
They were like, no.
They heard this podcast and were like, you know what? Gay reparative therapy feels fine.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Dear Exodus, I hereby accept.
Yeah. Did you hear about Obama?
Obama, he's gonna... Yeah.
Well, I didn't hear this.
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
That he's...
So, the Times ran this. How did you not read it?
Listen, I don't pay.
So, Obama's gonna specifically come out against
gay reparative therapy.
It's a very second-term lame duck. I done lost my 6-year midterms thing to do.
Yeah, he really is. He's putting a lot on the line by doing that. Because there are at least 6 people in Iowa who believe it works.
Michelle is out there with the gays from So You Think You Can Dance. He's talking about reparative therapy. They just don't care anymore. Yeah. Like, we have no more elections.
There are 0 fucks to give.
We just don't care.
Yeah. It's great. Look, that's great. Him and Marcus Bachmann can have a debate about it. I feel like that's beautiful and wonderful.
Well, now you've said Marcus Bachmann. I'm just really sad for.
She never sucked my dick.
I'm really sad for Marcus Bachmann.
We all are.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to use the F word.
Please don't.
I know, because we're not supposed to.
I want to be famous. Is the F word famous? Because I would really like to be famous by being on iTunes.
I feel listen.
Combative.
Okay. Adrian, do we have a topic?
Yeah, let's go through the topics now. We took some suggestions from people online.
We did.
Yeah.
Who we won't name to protect the innocent.
Yes.
You know who you are.
Mm-hmm. Looking at you. Mm-hmm. We have a wig full of topics here, and I'm going to shake the wig. Do you hear that?
It's an actual wig.
It is a wig, we promise.
We're really upset about this wig still.
Yeah.
Can we get a better wig? A lace front?
Okay, so guys, how do you think the California gays are handling the drought?
Yes. This came in our mailbag.
Yes. From a certain listener.
You know who you are, listener.
Who we adore.
We love you,
and
listener.
have a special place in our heart for.
Yep.
So how are the California gays #thirsty?
I didn't realize the California gays were handling the drought any differently than anyone else who lives in California, but then I thought about it.
Yeah. When you think about the different uses of water, that was going to be where I went.
Okay.
So we're
sorry, guys. I went there.
Basically, for our straight listener, douching is
they know what douching is. You do not.
I feel like we should walk them through it.
Okay, no, we don't have to.
It's where you
walk the. Wait. No.
I feel like
don't kill the joke. Don't kill the joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's keep going.
So maybe I'm not in on the joke. I was being serious. That's
actually contributing to the drought.
Look,
like the gays do.
Every drop of water matters. A gallon of water. A gallon of water it takes a gallon of water to make an almond. I heard recently.
It does. What is that about?
I heard that. That's true.
Okay, I have a tree nut allergy because God clearly has a sense of humor.
Well, then you're not a good source of information about this.
Oh, hold up, time out. Okay. All I'm saying is, my tree nut allergy makes me exempt from responsibility.
So Josh can douche more than the rest of gays in
That's where I was going.
It's basically it.
Yep.
Josh can douche as much as he wants, which is great. Like, I support Josh for that. Most of the tops in West Hollywood are grateful for that. I feel like the California gays are being pretty good about the drought. I feel like gays as a group...
They're having group showers.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
They do. They enjoy a group shower.
Parties.
Now, is this an improvement on the drought, or is this actually contributing to the drought?
You know, when I think of, like, gays douching, like, just to conserve water, I picture them lined
up...
Group douching, like...
Grushing.
Like, grushing. I picture them grushing... Sorry. Along the banks of the LA River. All together, lined up.
That's a very
That's why there's so much
image.
flora and fauna that grow along the LA River. It's why there's just a diversity of wildlife. And I think that Eric Garcetti, I hope you're listening, because I feel like in the park planning for what the revitalization
really hope you're listening.
Of the LA River will be, I hope that we take into account the fact that the grushing that happens welcome. Starting on the border of Glendale, running down to downtown, that really contributes.
But really only on the border.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what happens in Glendale, we really hope stays in Glendale.
So let's make #grushing. Let's make a trend.
A movement.
I love that.
Yeah, let's
I love grushing.
Of sorts.
Yeah, so in response to this question, how are California gays dealing with the drought? Our response is #grushing. What we want you to do is group douche from this point forward. We want you to say #grushing. That's our part. We're gonna keep drinking almond milk because we're really
while
don't
the rest
dairy.
of you are taking 30-second showers.
We're gonna groosh.
But also, you know how do you make almond milk?
Grooshing?
Oh God! No, you crush almonds, so each almond is a gallon of water, right? And then what do?
You gotta add water. Right.
Well, see, so anyone who says that you don't learn anything on Wigless and Crying is a filthy liar.
Awful liar. There you go.
I was going to use a different word, but I used the word liar.
That's learning.
This is called growth.
Tim Cook. So that's how they're handling the drought.
That's how California gays are handling the drought.
Great. Okay, so let's select the next topic. Can we talk about these religious freedom bills in Indiana and Arkansas?
We sure can. We sure can. So, context for what these religious freedom bills are. Josh, do you care to talk about that?
Sure. So, in Indiana, the governor is Mike Pence, who several Republican heavyweights have wanted Mike Pence to run for president for the longest now. And it's a good thing that he didn't, because he's the wallpaper of Indiana.
Yeah.
Correct. So, the state of Indiana, not surprisingly, Indiana has a long history of just being ratchet as
and problematic.
Hell. Yeah, and like Ku Klux Klan, and like,
yes.
I'm from Illinois, I get to say that. So Indiana passed a religious freedom bill that essentially gave businesses the right to discriminate, and then the world went ham and cheese on Indiana. Audra McDonald was tweeting like, "Oh, so I shouldn't come to a concert." Mm-hmm. The largest businesses, she has 6. Mm-hmm. The largest businesses in Indiana wrote the governor a letter that was like, "Can you please repeal this? This is terrible for everyone." NCAA was not having it. Like, the backlash was universal and swift, and so that somehow did not deter Asa Hutchinson, governor of Arkansas, from passing a similar law. But then he like had a press conference where he was like, my son said don't pass this law. And I was like, son, you're my son.
Yeah, and it stems from this sort of like insane Hobby Lobby ruling from the Supreme Court, which basically said, there's been this understanding in the United States where you are certainly entitled to your religious freedom as long as that religious freedom doesn't impose on the rights of other people.
Correct.
So when one is engaging in commerce, the act of exchanging money with another person, one assumes that the belief systems of those individuals are not in play. That we're both in it to make money, and that my belief system shouldn't be imposed on that transaction. So Right, so like that's actually sort of essential to the nature of how a free market operates, right? Like that we are engaged in a contract that is free of one another's belief systems, that whatever sort of entity is engaged in that is not an entity that is religious in nature. And here's the interesting thing, like, so you say this bill is not meant to discriminate against people who are LGBT. Well, then what is the point of this bill?
Absolutely.
Right? Like, what are you trying to achieve with this bill? And here's the thing.
I'm like, your religious freedom ends where my right to be served in a restaurant begins.
Correct.
That's it.
And like, here's where I'm heartened. I'm heartened by the fact that like, this is actually a populist issue. Like, I'm heartened by the fact that like,
Walmart?
Yes.
If Walmart can come out and be like, nope.
The fact that, like, I'm on the same side as
Walmart on anything.
I think that it speaks to sort of, like, where gay rights are in America. So, it's this interesting thing. There was this article this morning. It talked about sort of, like, where is the next battle for, like, the American gay rights movement? And is it Indiana? And my sort of response to that is, no, it's not Indiana. Like, clearly, there's a populist
The backlash has been so swift and so severe.
So, like, here's my thing. We have a problem in the gay community in America, and that problem is a race problem. And
that's a whole other topic.
It is, but, like, here I go.
Okay.
So, like, there are gay people being stoned to death by ISIS. There are gay people being stoned to death.
That's why I don't go to Jamaica.
There are gay people who are being fucking stoned to death in Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
Gay America, where is your outrage? Gay America, where is your outrage that there are brown people being stoned to death across the world, but all you can do is get worked up about a bill in Indiana that actually at the end of the day is not going to hurt your civil rights.
She went there.
So that's my point of view about this. I feel, obviously, we don't want to have discrimination in America. We feel very strongly about it. But you know what, Gay America? This is the easiest fight we can pick. So, those people being thrown off of buildings by ISIS?
Horrible.
Where are you, Gay America?
Horrible.
Where are you?
Horrible.
For those people,
Horrible.
I have a feeling that it has something to do with race. But you know what? I'm just going to leave that out there. I'm just going to be good.
We need an entire episode about gay racism.
Mm-hmm.
An entire one.
Gaysism.
I can't even touch it.
In some ways, I feel like
I'm just going to keep drinking. I can't go nowhere near it.
Racism is even worse in gay culture.
Literally, I'm about to come out of my skin.
There's some truth to that.
Tear my clothes off.
I mean, we have to... I think that gay people really have to confront this. Because, you could say, racism permeates a variety of quarters of society. But what I will say is gay people, in particular, have a responsibility to confront this in themselves and in each other. Because gay people... You know what it's like. You've felt the sort of sting of weirdness and otherness and oppression that some people don't have the choice whether or not they can hide that.
We're obviously not speaking for every gay person, but...
I'm speaking for a lot of them.
For a lot, yes.
Look, here we are.
Let's just say, let's let the listeners know that each one of us are...
Gay minority. Yes.
I'm Latino. JC
I'm a lot of things.
He's everything.
I'm mixed
Asian
race.
and a lot.
Asian and a lot.
Asian and a lot.
Yeah.
And Joshua is black.
Yes.
And I think
I'm 13% European for obvious reasons.
That's that self-hate right there.
That's not hate. 13 inch.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
That don't count. That's not alternate.
No, that's
DNA.
not self-hate. That's just me letting people know what I am.
Well, that's you.
I have my DNA analyzed.
Being what's in her.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just saying,
deny the past.
I will say I have been frustrated by turning on my Facebook feed and scrolling down and seeing
this went there. I'm so
gay
glad.
people who are so up in arms about this Indiana law, which, look, yeah, we have a right to be up in arms about it. It's really unjust. It's really frustrating. It's really un-American in a lot of ways. But where is the outrage when other minorities, when other groups of other are being oppressed by the same systems of power in this country? Where is that outrage? So gay people, I just want you to take a moment and look at yourself and ask that question.
The things I have to say about this will lose me all my friends.
So, just a thought.
I'm not going to speak on it.
Just a thought. This is actually one of the reasons we have this podcast is for conversations like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a thought, and look, everyone has their own opinion. We can have a variety of opinions about this, but I just think to me, it tells us a lot about where this country is, where gay rights has moved so quickly into sort of being normalized in our country, but we are sort of mired in a really fucking horrible place in terms of race. And I really think, I believe this in my core, that gay people have a huge role to play that they've abdicated in this.
I told you about the conversation I had on St. Patrick's Day.
Tell us about it. I don't remember exactly.
I'm just going to speak generally, without impugning. Who gives a shit? Hold up.
Drunk.
I've just had a revelation. I spent the last 2 minutes of my life going, is what I'm about to say going to make several people uncomfortable? It might.
It might.
That's the whole point of this podcast.
Right.
Let's make everyone uncomfortable.
We spent 30 minutes
So,
talking about cocktails
have you
last
ever been out with several white people? I'm just going to say it.
I know a few of them.
And then they say a thing that's problematic, and with no heat, no judgment, you're just asking them to clarify what they said.
Correct.
And then suddenly it becomes,
they've been accused of racism.
right.
Right.
Because the only thing in 2015 that's worse than being racist is being accused of being a racist.
Correct.
So suddenly, I'm like, I'm not even accusing anyone of anything. I'm just asking you to literally clarify what you said.
Right.
And it was like the record stopped. And suddenly it was like, everyone was like, oh, well, aren't these tater tots good? And I was like, how am I the asshole?
Right.
How am I the asshole
Right.
for asking you to clarify your use of the word ghetto?
Right. That's exactly my point. It's sort of the way that the power structures adapt to political circumstances and not enable themselves to change. Like, so now everyone agrees it's bad to be racist.
Right.
But you know what else that we all agree on? It's bad to call someone a racist.
Right.
So now
And that's worse than being racist.
Correct.
Is calling someone racist.
So
That's
now,
a worse crime.
Right. So it puts people of color, it puts people in other situations in this horrible situation where if we call someone a racist, we are impugning ourselves by doing that.
We're the assholes.
Exactly.
Yep.
But what other mechanism do we have?
But maybe you're racist.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe people are racist.
Maybe you're racist.
Maybe you're racist. I mean, that's the problem we have.
Avenue Q said everyone's a little bit racist.
And the problem we have is that there's no way to point racism out in our world today without having to guard ourselves
suddenly then
against this
making
sort
it
of
about
like
us.
hyper liberal critique of like, we are playing the quote-unquote race card. Well, you know what? We should play the race card more often, people, because it needs to be played.
It's a thing.
Because the world is really racist.
That's all I'm going to say on it.
And there we are.
That's a great conversation. Thank you, guys.
My favorite is Adrian's intonation about everything. That's a really good conversation.
No, it's good. It's going to stir up.
Y'all brown people was just mad. Y'all brown people mad.
Okay, so
I'm telling you, I could do a whole episode on that.
We'll move on to the next subject. Why did throwing shade go from wit to negativity?
Well, first, maybe we should define shade for our
straight listener. So, I mean, the term throwing shade goes way back. First of all, if you've ever read Mansfield Park by Jane Austen, there is a passage in Mansfield Park that quotes throwing shade. And it may be the earliest extant. Jane Austen for the win.
Yeah, she won RuPaul's Drag Race
season
36.
Season negative 115.
Little known fact.
200 BC.
So, like, the term goes all the way back there. So, throwing a shade is like, it's exactly what it sounds like. Like,
right.
It has really good connotation.
Darkening.
Right, darkening the proceedings of the evening. Just by saying, you know, oh, is that a new haircut? Was that free? Like, it's just like...
Right.
But it like in the days of Paris is Burning, like it was a way for a queen to be witty. It was like Bianca Del Rio, for example.
The queen of throwing shade.
Throws shade, but she does it in a way that is... somehow still manages to be...
Well, I feel like the key to throwing shade is that it's always coming from a place of solidarity and love.
I agree.
Right?
It's all about intention.
The whole point about...
It's all about intention.
What makes throwing shade work is that it's always from a place of solidarity, which is like... You and I come from the same experience.
Yep.
We cut each other down because cutting each other down makes each other stronger.
Right.
To face the opposition, which is so much bigger than both of us.
I will quote Lisa Lampanelli.
Who is iconic.
I may misquote her, but I don't care.
Might be a drag queen.
Might be.
Is a drag queen.
Lisa Lampanelli was like...
John Goodman.
If anybody's ever... I've never seen them both in the same room. If Lisa Lampanelli has... I mean, if you've ever watched or heard Lisa Lampanelli, like, she goes in on black people. She goes in on... Like, she's on just everyone. So irreverent and crazy.
Takes everyone down.
But she's always been like, you can't make fun of somebody you don't actually like.
Right.
Like, she was like, if I actually didn't like black people and was racist, then, like, that would come across.
Right. Operative word being fun.
Right, exactly. So, I feel like shade, the way that shade has been used back in the day and the way that it should always be used, is between people who have a certain level of trust, wherein I'm like, your intention is clearly not to cut me down, like, to the core of my soul.
Right.
Like, you clearly like who I am.
Right.
So we can have fun making fun of each other's haircuts or dresses or whatever. But I do feel like nowadays,
gay people are very negative.
It has taken a turn.
Well, shade. Look, there's a distinction to be made between shade and the sort of like cutting, biting negativity that sometimes is hurled at other people in the gay community.
Yeah.
But I think, like, as we were saying earlier, shade is you throw shade at a person because you are of the same ilk. And you share...
Throw your shade, but eventually the sun has to come back out.
Exactly. And that sun is the thing we're unified... unified against that sun. So, like, if you're not operating in opposition to, then the shade becomes just nasty.
You're just mean.
So you guys have some examples. Like, for me, I find that in our community, we are very, very mean towards entertainers, TV shows, movies. It's almost to a point where other people in the community that disagree feel very scared to voice any of their opinions.
Well, look, what is the community? Is the question. The community is a really diffuse, diverse thing nowadays. It's not what it used to be. We are a big, diverse, loud, rowdy. I'm drunk.
Rowdy is also
Rowdy's a great word, though. I feel like rowdy should be a word.
He done made it up.
If rowdy's not a word, then she's a porn star from Montana.
Wow, that's dark.
But, like, It's a big group. We are constantly sort of like looking for the unifying thing, and I think that the unifying thing tends to be what we're in opposition to.
There was a time when Lady Gaga was the queen.
This is hard.
Before her backlash.
Yeah.
This is hard.
And then it was really popular to hate her.
Right, it became cool too.
But that's also pop culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. True. I feel like I don't want to mix.
But I think as a gay community, we love to watch the downfall of divas.
I think all people love that, though. I think
that's why we build them up.
I don't think straight people really care that Mariah Carey was once loved and now she's funny to.
I think you could argue that they love that Michael Jackson was once the king of pop and then was torn down into this horrible creature that we created. I disagree that it's specifically gay, that we love to build people up and tear them down. I think gay people do it in a way.
We do it a lot more.
I don't know.
Because we can't have nice things.
Well,
like, maybe it's just because we can't have nice things.
I think when you're talking about specifically gay things, you could make an argument that, like, maybe gay people can't have nice things because
But what I'm saying is that Lady Gaga is a specifically gay thing.
I don't agree with you.
As is Madonna.
I don't agree with you. I think that Madonna has transcended just a sort of gay thing. I think Lady Gaga has transcended a sort of gay thing.
I also think that shade went from being personal to impersonal. Mm-hmm. By which I mean, like, in 1981, no cell phones, no internet, no Twitter. You had to go to Limelight and physically look a person in her face, her snatched, plucked, cooked,
her bad
made up face, and read her. You had to look her up and down and come up with things and say them to her face. Louis C.K. had this great thing when he was on the Tonight Show, David Letterman, one of them, where he was like, back in the day, you had to say a mean thing to a person's face, and then you saw their reaction. You were like, oh, I really hurt that person.
Right.
Maybe I should think before I say another hurtful thing. And now we're just like sitting in our basements eating Cheetos,
right,
commenting on things.
Right.
And it just doesn't matter anymore. Like, it just doesn't... I think that's also a part of the discussion.
I think that's really, really true. I also think that I think that shade specifically, when we're talking about shade and we're talking about the gay community, I think shade specifically was built to make one another stronger.
Right. It was more functional back in the day.
I always think about, like, growing up in New York and seeing those drag queens taking that fucking C train downtown from fucking Inwood, and
I learned from them.
Right. It takes a certain kind of person to be able to ride the train downtown in drag from Inwood. You had to endure a lot. And I think that throwing shade was about making you strong enough to take that train ride.
Don't come up in here in Limelight unless you're ready to hear about yourself.
Right. So, like, if you could take that train ride down to Chelsea in full drag... And get red to fill? You are a strong...
Then you're coming back next Tuesday, because, like...
Exactly. To get that $100 for your rent. And, you know, I think people have lost sight of that. I think that, like... You don't realize that, like, that's the root of it. Was, like, becoming a strong person.
Not building... No one's building anyone up for survival nowadays.
Right. Yeah. Right. And look, certainly there are places where it takes a thick skin, and still...
It takes a village to raise a queen.
Right. And it's still hard to get on that C train and ride downtown in full drag.
As someone who lived on 96th Street, I know it's hard.
As someone who lived on 116th, I can speak from experience.
Oh, 116th is painful.
Little Senegal stop
is just that close to the express stop.
Not easy.
Not quite express.
Not the express.
Right.
We're on the local. And it's not easy. But, you know... Throwing shade at another gay person, at a drag queen, was about making you stronger. Was about saying you can be strong enough to face the world as who you are.
And I feel like so there aren't enough oak trees for the amount of shade that these three people who are talking to you right now have thrown at each other over the past several years. But because I've established a level of rapport with y'all already... I'm like, there's really nothing they could say to me that would make me go, oh, that wasn't shade. They were being mean.
Right. Well, that's sisterhood, right? That's what that means.
Right. And I'm like, this bitch keeping me on my toes.
Right. And we're making each other better. I mean, the goal is to make each other better. I was like, she caught me off guard with that. Right.
Maybe I should, what I got on, maybe I should have come out in this top.
I will never forget, y'all. There was one day I went up to a club wearing a big-ass shirt, and Josh Allen was like, you are wearing a shirt dress. And literally read me to filth the entire night.
He needed it.
And listen,
he needed it.
Number one, I did. She was right.
It.
I did need it. But number two, I was never more grateful or thrilled to have a person in my life that could read me to filth, and I always knew, no matter what he said the entire night, he was coming from a place of love. And, like, even if I wore that shirt dress every single night for the rest of the month, still come from a place of love.
Yeah. How come when I do that, you don't say it comes from love?
Because you're a nightmare.
No, if you my homie, don't you know me? I'll put you through the paper
exactly.
shredder. I'll put you through the
also,
paper
Adrian,
shredder.
You're maybe an illegal immigrant. We're not sure. We have to check the papers.
I haven't seen any legal documentation.
No one knows. He might.
But I gotta say that I've experienced a lot of anger and judgment, and just I think that we've grown up having to defend ourselves for our viewpoints and
Jesus,
and
tell me about it.
Our lifestyle, and I think that sometimes people take that anger and turn it into something else.
Sure.
And
can I say something about
that? Or
internalize
internalize it and turn it against their own.
The words you used, judgment, negativity, those words, to me, those words all come from a place of privilege. So, like, if you're in a place to judge, you're in a place of privilege. And I think that place of privilege has been crafted by people who fought a really hard fight.
I mean, I've been judging people since Ronald Reagan was president.
Well, We can't... Listen, it's hard to speak to where Josh Allen is.
That's true.
She's in a certain place.
So can we talk a little bit about... I mean, this is sort of in the same...
I'm loving this.
So good.
Drag queen etiquette. Talking to drag queens and interacting with them.
You talk to drag queens?
Oh, yes. I have plenty of friends that are drag queens.
Well, I say the same thing about black people.
And you don't have
Haven't met one yet.
Josh is black, in case any of you don't know that. I had a drunken night in San Francisco with a former RuPaul's Drag Race contestant. Not my dear friend Honey Mahogany. She's amazing. But I was out, and I introduced myself to this person and her friend, and I went to shake their hand, and they looked at me like I was the devil. And then they looked at each other and whispered to each other and didn't say hi back. And it was really a painful moment for me. Well, just because I didn't... maybe I was supposed to kiss them on each cheek to say hello. But for me, I thought that...
Is there a possibility that... I don't mean to interrupt you. No. Is there a possibility that was an isolated incident? Or are you reading that through... Oh.
It's happened a few times where...
With drag queens.
Well, with drag queens and other gay men, where they...
How are you reading that shade though? Like what is the lens
that they're above you?
Hold on, is that shade or is that just a person being an asshole?
Right, that's what I'm trying to really get to.
I feel like that's not.
I'm like shade. Maybe a few times you met assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just think that in our community, with all the hate that we do get and all the things that we've been through in our lives, that we should always be nice to each other, no matter whether you're a drag queen who thinks you're above everyone else, or if you're a gay man who has a beautiful body. You should all treat everyone equally in your community.
To say about this.
Go ahead.
I think this is starting to become... I have no evidence for this. Like, I have no empirical research to support what the fuck I'm about to say.
I might. I don't.
Okay, no.
I don't.
It didn't come from Chipotle, so you don't have any empirical research.
That's true, but I got a coupon.
Okay. I feel like it comes down to us being in a time and place in 2015 where, like, our biggest problem is like, oh... What's going to happen? We think probably in 2 months the Supreme Court is going to decide we can just get married wherever the fuck we want.
Right.
We no longer need to band together for our own basic survival.
Right.
Emphasis on basic.
Basic, correct.
So like we are now free to be shady to each other, like so much more often.
To be heteronormative assholes.
Right. We're now free to be assholes.
Right.
Because when you don't count on each other to help each other not die.
Right.
Like, then you're just free to be like, oh, I didn't like her stomach.
Can I just say, I
didn't like his face.
I'll venture to say, community is forged in the fires of fighting oppression. And
100%.
when we don't have the immediate oppression to fight, look, gay people, we have a road to equality, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, we're at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, literally,
yeah.
Guys.
Correct.
The fact that, like, we're not more angry about ISIS throwing our brothers and sisters off of buildings is maybe a little bit more upsetting, and maybe something we should spend,
killing anyone they're killing.
Yeah, and maybe we should spend a little bit more time on that and wondering why that isn't triggering the same response in us. So, like, I think that, like, the fact that we're becoming more and more the same kind of douchey assholes as we meet in straight bars
is
actually a good thing. Yeah. And it's horrible to say that because I know we treasure our gayness and we should love it and cherish it, but also, you know, this is what we fought for. We fought to get married like straight people, and now that we're upset that we're becoming douchebags like straight guys at bars.
So that is why Shade transformed from wit to negativity.
Yeah. Oscar Wilde is sashaying in her grave away.
Oh.
It's really sad. But she's the best. We love her.
I think every time we're throwing shade, we need to...
100%.
2 sugars, please.
two sugars, please.
Yeah. But sugars we mean another shot of whiskey.
This Lipton tea ain't gonna sweeten itself.
Boy. Adrian, do we have a boy yet? Do we have a boy?
It's me. Yeah. It's me.
Oh.
Okay, so that is our second show, boys.
Wait, did we do 3 topics?
We did.
We did.
Oh, wow. Wait, really?
We gotta end with the Tennessee Williams quote.
Yeah.
I had one.
Do.
Also, we have to endorse things that we saw on the internet.
Yes, anything that...
Oh, fuck.
Oh, let me just say this because last time we didn't get to say this. Our intro and outro music was
Orchid
from
and Hound.
the wonderful Orchid and Hound.
Yes.
And they have a music video out that I directed. So you should go check it out.
Remember we talked about throwing shade? They're ready.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. It's a great video with a lot of amazing, beautiful people in there. And it's a great song. So go check out the video. And anything you guys recommend?
I recommend untuckit.com, not just because it sounds like something that's related to RuPaul's Drag Race. untuckit.com. It is a website where if you're willing to spend a little bit of money, they will sell you a shirt that is meant to be untucked. How often have you been out in the world and you've been like, oh, I would love to just have my shirt untucked like casually so I can just like go to this barbecue. But oh my god, this shirt is so long that if I untuck it, then I look gross and like sloppy and weird and my shirt tails are like hanging out the back and it's gross. Untuck It makes shirts that are specifically designed for you to wear not tucked in. So like they hang great at like your belt line. Like if you're willing to spend $69 on a shirt, which like I'm still not sure if I'm
Or you could just get
that.
your shirt altered to get it a little shorter, can't you? Get it ahead.
You can,
This is the craziest endorsement.
but I'm trying to preach prosperity. So like, why spend a couple dollars to get a shirt altered when you could spend $75? Am I the only one who thought this was like the greatest fucking thing that ever happened?
I'm so excited for my endorsement to follow this.
When I found this website, I literally almost killed myself. Because I was like, why didn't no one think of this? I was like, if I thought of this, I'd be a millionaire by now.
Okay, what's yours, Justin? JC.
My endorsement is literally the GIF.
It's literally Carl's Jr.
My
It's his
endorsement
endorsement.
is literally the GIF of Mariah Carey superimposed in
GIF.
front of
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving food.
I didn't know we
images.
could do that.
You guys,
I would have done it.
if you haven't seen the GIF,
I was unaware that it was possible to recommend a
listen.
trashy gift.
Okay. No, listen.
Because
Untucked.com sent her like 5 shirts, and that's where she is.
I'm angry.
I am
angry.
endorsing the GIF/GIF of Mariah Carey
I'm angry.
cheerfully being displayed in front of alternating images
Let's
of
get to Tennessee
Thanksgiving
Williams
food.
because I'm mad.
That's my endorsement.
I'm
if you
mad.
haven't seen that
Let's get to
GIF/GIF,
Tennessee.
please go see it. If you
I'm
haven't,
mad.
we'll
I'm
post
mad.
it.
I think for a good summer fuck, you should cover the bed with a large white piece of oilcloth. The bodies of the sexual partners ought to be thoroughly, even superfluously rubbed over with mineral oil or cold cream. It should be in the afternoon, preferably soon after lunch when the brain is dull. If the sexual partner is a Southern belle with intellectual pretensions and a beautiful ass, it must be plainly told where the charm is concentrated and urged. To keep the loftier cerebral processes out of the picture, at least till after the first ejaculation. This little item is from my mother's recipe book on the page for meat dishes. That is a Tennessee Williams quote.
So good. You guys,
Tennessee Williams wrote that in a letter.
why he's not on Mount Rushmore
I will never
or
know.
on a $20 bill is beyond
No.
me.
Blow out your candles, Laura.
No.
Blow your Tinder hookups, Laura.
Oh, to read the unedited Glass Menagerie
is to be reborn.
We all just wish.
I'm calling it right now. J.C. Lee and Joshua Allen will be writing a series based on Tennessee Williams.
Coming this fall
if we're
to
lucky.
Logo.
Oh. I need you to aim higher.
Okay, everyone. That ends our second podcast. Don't forget to tweet in your topic suggestions
At Wigless Cry.
at Wigless Cry, or you can message us on our Facebook page.
Just write on it.
Right.
Just write on it. I don't want to mess it. I don't want to.
Thank you, JC. Everyone, have a great
We love our
day.
listeners.
Three of you, we love you.
We have fewer this
This is
time.
me on the regular, so
We're
you know.
down.
I come with the tip, with the blow, with the boom. And if you're in my way, there's nothing but doom. Ain't got no time for you ratchet ass goons. And just settle down, listen to my tunes. Ever since I was 8, I was attached to the mic. Wanted a guitar before I wanted a bike.